Okay, hey guys, how you doing? It's Mike Morgan here from Morgan Designs. Thank you for checking out this video. In this video, we're going to learn about storyboarding, and we're going to run through some frames. We got a script here that we're going to go off of, and we're going to show you how to do a little storyboard action digitally. Okay, so just so you know, the tools I'm working with is going to be Photoshop. I'm working with a drawing tablet here. You can do this on an iPad, a Huion, a Wacom, whatever tablet you want. I'm wearing the Morgan Designs Artist Glove, and I got a script. That's about all you need. I think that's all you need. So let's take a look here. So I got the script here. We got to open up our Photoshop here. So let's take a look at our Photoshop. I'm a little verklempt. These are all my recent jobs I've been working on. Which one has our storyboards? Here we go. So this particular movie that we're working on is a Neo Tokyo. It's actually Neo Shanghai script, and it's in the future. It's very cyberpunk type situation, and so we're doing basically black and white drawings with some AI overlay. Okay, so what we got here is we got a scene set up, and they jumped in this, well, it says here Act 2, 2.15, shot 2.15. They escaped through Chinese Earth core capsule. So they've escaped, they've got into some sort of capsule, and they're escaping through the core. So I'm going to look at 2.5 on my script here, and I'll even put up my document camera so you can see it too. How about that? So my document camera, there we go. So that's what my script looks like. So at 2.5 it says 2.15. Says they escape through the core capsule and they end up at aquariums. Okay? We were entertaining the idea that there would be chairs on the ceiling, but we're not going to do that. So basically, we got that they're escaping through the capsule, and they're going to go through these tunnels and end up at aquariums. So, here we go. Let's get to drawing. So as you can see, I do all my shots. Well, let me move this document camera. We don't need this anymore. As you can see, I do all my shots. On the right here, I just have a new folder, and I hit new folder every time I have a new shot, or better yet, I duplicate. So I'm going to go to 2.15. I'm going to duplicate that folder. I'm going to hit OK, which I'm going to put that over here. OK. And then we have a copy there. So this new one is going to be this new one's going to be 2.5B. So we're going to add, because we're adding 2. So 2.5B, and I'm adding a B to that. And basically I'm going to take all the drawings and delete them. So I got Act 2, 2.15B, and they escaped through Chinese Earth core capsule. Okay, so I'm going to do maybe like a couple drawings of them flying through this Earth core capsule. So I need black, so I'm going to hit Alt, and I'm going to select some black. And just my brush settings, I'm just checking it out. If I press on my pen, I see I probably want this around like 6 or so. Okay, that looks good to me. I got this pressure sensitivity on. Pressure for size is what that is. Okay, so that looks good. So I was thinking we should have a shot of them cruising through the tunnel at a high rate of speed. So in my mind, I was picturing this 1-point perspective shot of them ripping through this tunnel deep into the core of the earth. So it looks something like that. And as they go back into space, the circles get smaller and smaller. Okay, so there's a shot right there. Now, question is, do I show them in the ocean? Do I show them, what are they in, really, is the question. So I'm just going to emphasize this tunnel a little more. Alright, so I think one of the cool things to do would be to show this thing is in the ocean. So maybe I have some fish swimming around here, or like some coral reef or something like that. So here's that's some coral reef coming up, a little foreground coral reef action. Okay, and I'm not going to shade a lot of these, or use values or anything. So here we go. We're going to keep this simple. We're going to have some more coral. Okay. So this is coral. Alright, then we're going to have some fish swimming around. So let's see, maybe some monorays or stingrays. They kind of swim around like this. And they have these long tails. So there's a monoray. And these will just be real basic shapes. These are storyboards. Okay, so there's a couple monorays. We can have some fish here. So there's our fish swimming around. Okay. And maybe like a school of fish over here swimming around. That'd be a school of fish. Some other bigger fish maybe swimming. So the idea is that this goes really deep into space. Let me get this eraser. I don't want that line. Okay, so we have a couple fish. Just to give the idea that we're in the ocean. And inside this unit is going to be our capsule. So this is our capsule that's flying at a high rate of speed. This is what our characters are going to be inside of, is this pill looking thing. You'll have to imagine this, that it has like neon lights and all kinds of crazy stuff on it. All kinds of, I shouldn't say crazy stuff, but like synth type stuff. Let me put this camera down here so you can kind of see me a little better. It's a pretty weird shot. Terrible shot. Put this back where it was. How about that? Okay, so this has got the capsule. Just to let the viewers know that this part's flat, I'm going to do this. So it's going to look like that. I'm going to do some like tech looking stuff. Maybe just imagining like this would glow green or something like that. This will kind of help describe the shape or the form. Alright, so this is our capsule traveling at a high rate of speed. Maybe it has a light here and a light here. So it is flying, and we'll kind of I don't know, it could be coming away from us or towards us. Which way should it be going? What would look better? Probably if it was coming towards us, I would assume. Okay, so since this is coming towards us, I'm just going to do an arrow in perspective, and it's like telling the directors that this thing is coming this way. Okay, so we're going to put a little more detail into this ring here. This is like a protect or a support ring right here. So get this support ring in here. And it shines through this glass and comes around to this side. I just hit undo a couple times. Alright, so that's going to roll up like that. So that kind of gives the viewer an idea of what shape this thing is. So here's some kind of reflective glass lines. Very good. All right, so that could be our storyboard right there. Let me add a little bit of coral texture just to this because it just looked a little solid black, and that's it. So let me try this. So that kind of helps that. Okay. This one looks pretty good to me as far as being finished. You can get the idea. Alright, that looks good. So there's Act 2 2.15b. So we'll save that guy out. Well, I'll save it out in a minute. So here's the other part of their excursion was They escape through the core and end at aquariums. So we'll do one more shot of the aquariums. I think what we'll do is show, how can we do this? Maybe show them, I'm going to set up this shot a little different. So I'm going to duplicate group. And I just made a duplicate of that group. And we're going to do, this will be 1.5C. So in this shot, I want them to be either in the capsule or out of the capsule, but you can see the wildlife or fish around. So now I need to think for a minute how I want to do that. Because what I could do is I could take this storyboard right here and zoom in on some of them. I could zoom in on somebody and have fish in the background. That would be kind of a neat shot. Let's try that shot. So what part do I need out of all this? I'm going to duplicate this whole group and use this and tighten in on it. So this is a previous drawing. I'm going to get rid of the AI stuff that we had in there. We're going to merge this group. So now it's all merged into one flat layer. I'm going to put it in my 2.15B copy, which now needs to be 2.15C. So let's fix that up. Okay, and then now we're going to figure out what layer we're on and make sure this file is called 2.15C. So what I was just doing there is trying to stay organized. So the second you don't get organized or number the stuff, it's going to be chaos. So I got Act 2, shot 2.15C, and my storyboard reflects that. Okay, so here we go. Now what I want though is just a second, or just a piece of this shot right here. And I'm just going to take that with the selection rectangle, copy it, paste it, make this old layer not visible. Now I just have the layer that I copy pasted. I'll expand that, put it about right here. And in this shot, we would have the fish in the background, some sort of fish in the background. So I will do that. This is a stingray. With its little mouth. So there's a stingray, and probably another stingray. We're gonna have like a jellyfish. Now I'm just drawing a jellyfish out of my mind. If I was doing any kind of real concept art, I would look this up. sure the jellyfish looks something like this. Okay, so there's some weird creatures. You're gonna have like maybe like a shark looking thing. So there's a shark looking beast, at least part of it. I don't know how many fins they have. I should probably look that up, but so you have that. We're gonna have more fish. Swimming around the ocean. And his tail would probably end over here somewhere. So you have a good amount of creatures swimming around already. You have a school of fish over here. I really only have to draw about 3 of them to give you the idea that those are fish. And even those 3 are not drawn very well. The rest can just be like little specks. And they kind of give that S-turn look when they go in their groups like a flock of birds. So I'm going to try to mimic that just with dots and stuff. Okay, so there's some fish. Or at least a school of fish. Alright. Maybe a little bit more animal life. Make that one look more shark-like in the distance. So cool. Cool. Maybe a little jellyfish in the background too. So that's enough to tell the viewer that we're dealing with some fish in the background. Cool. Okay, so 2.15C is done. So we got 2 boards done. So now the next one is that, let's see, I should probably have one of them standing in the aquarium, or at least coming out of it. Now, I don't know how this one's going to lay out, so let me figure this out. So I'm going to duplicate the group. This will be 2.1 ABCD. So 2.15D. And we'll erase everything that's in it except the text because we need to make the text say 2.15D. Okay, cool. Now I just made a new layer for me to draw on, but here's the idea is maybe we get a shot of them exiting this tube of some sort, this tube type thing. So I'm thinking, let me lay this out real quick. Let's see what I am thinking. So maybe the tube's only this big to make it look like it's, and this is all water up here, and we'll have, this will be one of the rings, one of the support rings that goes around the tube. And you know what, I'll just draw one and duplicate it. So this will, I'll put a little more time into one, then I can put twice as much time into the rings if I'm just going to duplicate it, mirror it, reverse it, and paste it on the other side of the canvas is my plan. So all I'm doing is giving this just enough detail to make it look high tech. Maybe it's got lights. Definitely it's got lights. Gotta have lights. Okay, and then maybe you can see through a little, but not too much. Okay. Okay, and there's some glass coming through it. This will also kind of show how thick the glass is at some certain point. Ooh. Yeah, because you know if this was going under the ocean, it's going to have to be quite thick. Okay, so here's our ring, and here's like some reflection lines just to kind of show that the darn thing is round. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Alt and drag it out, and it'll make a duplicate layer of it. I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Horizontal, and that'll flip it. So now I can do it like that. Okay, so coming out of this tube was 4 people. So I'm gonna draw like the tube thing is here. This tube transport device is here. Maybe they came out of it and they're just about to, let's say they exited out of the front of it. So I'll do the front like pretty open. And I'll have like maybe some stairs or something so that you can see that that's where you're supposed to walk out of it. Not stairs, but maybe like a ramp. Some lights in the ramp. Yeah, let's add the stairs. Why not? And a railing. All stairs have to have a railing. Okay, so there's our stairs, and then right here is what is to them a giant door. And I'm going to have all 4 of them standing there. So they got out. So I'll have one guy walking out. He's got his hand on the railing. He's kind of walking out. Maybe that railing's too small, too short. I'll do it a little higher. Let's say he's got a backpack on and a gun. So one dude's coming out. Another person's coming out, holding the rail, stepping down. And you got a silhouette standing here. These guys are far away, so I'll just duplicate that with my clone tool, do an exact copy of that silhouette. And so you got 4 people in the scene now. Okay, and so this is like a door that they're at. And so this door could have maybe windows in it. And so this is the shot you see of people exiting the craft. or the pill-like tube. So I'll just kind of finish up the pill-like tube. It had windows that kind of came at this angle. I'm not even going to pay attention to the ring. I can always erase parts out of it. So this is the windows of the underground unit. Some sort of decorative lines this thing would probably have. Okay, so here's that tube. We'll just make this outside kind of look shiny a little bit. Give this thing some detail. Alright, so there's their tube. It's as if they got out of it. Now we have to add some more fish. I could take some fish from here. So I could take those fish from that layer. But I'll get rid of the parts of this layer that I don't need. See that? Although I could have drawn the fish faster. So we have, so these will be some foreground elements. Let's get rid of some of this. Yeah, that would look cool. And let's actually switch this around. Okay, so maybe this fish isn't swimming right there. Maybe he's up here. And then we'll just add some more fish. This one will be like a nice slender shark or something. That looks pretty nice. So this actually would be like some sort of elevator. Pretend that would be like an elevator that takes the people that ride this tunnel, takes them up. We'll do like one of these looking numbers. Just kind of copy a few of these in here. Okay, so that's going up. So I'd assume this maybe back here would be like a rock wall. That'd be kind of cool. This would be a rock wall. Because as they go up, they're going to end up being on like an island or land or some sort of ground. So in my mind, I'm thinking at least this would be connected to a rock wall. This is the end of the rock wall cliff. Maybe this would be all expansive water way back here. And then again, I only want to, I don't want to spend a bunch of time on each panel, so this one I'm probably going over, but if I get into like 20 minutes a panel, that's bad. So I want to keep moving. Try to get it done quickly. It's hard to because I get wrapped up in details. Alright, so there's our guys coming out. Good. Looks good. Maybe a little jellyfish. See, I'm getting too wrapped up. But it's like if I don't write it down or draw it down, then maybe I'll forget for when we do, like, if we do another phase of where it's like more in-depth concept art. It'd be nice to have these ideas in here while you thought of them. Alright, so that's cool. Alright, that looks good. So moving on. Now that that panel's considered done. Well, I really hate this fish. I gotta change this one. Let's change this fish up. What do you say? Okay, something's wrong. There we go. I didn't have the pin selected over here somehow. Alright, that looks pretty cool. Looks more like a fish, at least. Okay, so rolling onward. So that one's done. Now we're going to move on to a new part of the script. Let me get my document camera. New part of the script is Act 3, 3.1. The group is at a secure location waiting for pickup. Conversations ensue. Red flirts with the president's daughter and ends up sleeping with her. She divulges that she's unhappy with her current husband and wants to leave him as soon as possible. Red gives her an out, saying he'll take care of her and anything she needs. So they have, the director notes that we got are that they have sex on the beach, and they're lying on the beach and talking. So basically, we were actually talked about doing that classic shot where two people are kissing on the beach and the water rushes up and goes over their body a little bit. You know, that scene where they're like making out, getting it on, and then the waves kind of bubble up onto half their body. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so we're gonna put away our document camera, and now we're going to title our act proper. So this is going to be Act 3, 3.1. And I need to add, so Act 3, if I look at the script, if I look through the script here, I need 3.1. So I'm going to copy paste that. So 3.1, I'm just highlighting it now, copy. Coming over here, I got the text, and I'm going to paste it in. So the group is at a secure location waiting for the pickup. Conversations ensue. Red flirts with the president's daughter. Ends up sleeping with her. She divulges she's unhappy with her current husband and wants to leave him as soon as possible. Red gives her an out, saying he'll take care of her needs. So now I'm going to draw that. So what we're going to draw is they're on the beach getting it on. Okay. So now I gotta basically draw. I'm gonna draw stick figures of how this is gonna go. Let me get my. So this is gonna be kind of maybe a mid shot. Bear with me here. That's so weird. Okay, now it's working. So I'm going to draw in this section. So I don't know how these characters are going to go right now at this time. But we'll do their heads this way. Is this a woman's head or a man's head? What's better, if the woman's on bottom or the man? Let's start with the woman on bottom, I guess. You know what? She's married. He's not. He's more of the playboy type. So let's make him on bottom. So this is a man on bottom. It's cooler if she's going for him in this shot. That's his hand. That's his forearm. That's his jacket. I mean his arm. This is his chest. So his ribs would be about like that. And her head's right here, basically kissing him. Her body's gonna be like this. She's gonna have her arms going like this, and this is just a stick figure. So that's her hand. And this is her forearm. And this is the president's daughter, but she's in like a lingerie type thing. She's in a lingerie thing. Okay, so that's her chin. She's kind of kissing. These are eyebrows, cheekbones, nose. Okay, and her hair's coming down. Her skull would be shaped like that, so her hair's coming down. It's kind of like wet. Well, it's definitely wet. He's kissing her. Oh, what happened to my pen there? But he wears shades. There's his shades, his ear, his cheekbone, his chin, and he's getting some with her. Okay, so this is his hair. A little bit of his ear. She's got a painted fingernail there. Painted fingernail. Let's fix her up. Oh, why does it keep doing that? So that's her. So now he's kissing her. She's kissing him, actually, which is even better. This is her hair. Okay, so her scapula is here. Scapula is here. Center of her spine is here. This is where the body kind of rolls. Pelvis. And she's basically straddling him like this. And this is her calf. Okay, his jacket is like this. It's got a little design right here. And his arm comes up here going over her arm. I mean over her leg. And he's got like hands out. He wears fingerless gloves. So we'll just barely show those. She's wearing like this nighty looking thing. So we'll do some kind of designs on it just to show that she's not naked. Alright, so that looks cool. basically all that's happening now is we're gonna have water like scooping up onto them. This is the bubbling, frothing water of the ocean coming up. This is it going back down the beach. This will be the background. Maybe there's like a rock or something. Kind of like it kind of encompasses them basically to make them stand out more maybe. So here's the ocean. So this is like spilling up, spilling around. This is water that just splashed up onto him. There's the water. All right, how's that look? So you can tell she is making out with him, and she's wearing like a lingerie type stuff. Getting at him, so he's she's kind of taking him. He's got to be quick, but you know, not too shitty. They got to be shitty, but not too shitty. His armband, or his arm area, actually has a little bit of design to it. This can be pretty much black. This arm has a little bit of tech to it. I don't want to get too crazy. Alright, so that's got a little tech to it. That's him. Imagine his feet are underwater. That's his jaw. Okay. So that's him. That's good enough. Alright. Get me away from this thing. Here's some clouds in the background. And is it sunset? Does it say? It doesn't say what time of day it is, so we'll just kind of leave out any definite kind of lighting. They are in Hawaii now, so maybe we'll do some palm trees. This will just kind of barely tell the people where we're at. Somewhere tropical. Alright. That should be good. Alright. I like it. But every time I say I like it and I think I'm done, I just see more stuff that I want to do. Gotta make this look like water. Good. Let's move on. So we're gonna do duplicate. This is gonna be a new storyboard called Act 3.2. And for 3.2, let's take a look what we got on our document camera. For 3.2, we can see that the team is ambushed in the middle of the night by unknown enemies. The team go off, so the Guatemalan explosives guy takes one for the team, and he dies in action. Okay, no, we're going to 3.2. So Blue sleeps with MI6 agent. Her motives are beginning to feel sinister. Waterfall. She has him mounted in the waterfall. They're trying to reach a high point to place a beacon. So let's draw that. Imagine that. So imagine they're trying to climb a mountain. You got this young jacket-wearing cyberpunk dude that always wears Ray-Bans. And they're climbing up this steep mountain. And this MI6 agent that's with him is going to help him place a beacon. So let's get rid of our document camera. So what we're going to need is a drawing of they got to a waterfall and started making out, started getting it on. So basically they got to be in the middle of a waterfall doing it. Okay, so I'm going to do a long shot, and then it's going to cut to like a mid shot. So, here we go. Oh, let me steal the script too. Part of the script we need is this. And I'm going to paste it in. So now I got my proper script wordage. 3.2, yeah, 3.2. Now I'm going on the layer I'm going to draw on. Okay. Here we go. Watch this. We're going to draw a mountainside and a waterfall. Oh, I keep losing my pen. There we go. So epic shot. That noise is the waterfall. Okay, so this is my vanishing point, guidelines, situations. We'll say that, let's say that it's like multiple waterfalls. And they kind of break up in weird formats. I don't know, we'll see how this goes. So I'm gonna have that be our horizon line, but in here in here is them. They're going to be just little specks. Getting it on, or starting to get it on. That's them. Standing on a rock. Waterfall going down by them, beside them. Water kind of spilling everywhere on this mountainside. So now I'm just going to draw out and expand out how this waterfall dumps water. Maybe that's a rock right there. Maybe that's another rock. Water just kind of drops down. Maybe there's a rock here. Kind of have like maybe like some sort of frame to where they're framed in. Use these rocks to help us frame them in. This waterfall just keeps going. These are big round rocks. More round rocks. Similar to that waterfall in Black Panther. That was really cool the way they did that waterfall fight scene. Okay, that's looking good. That's looking like a waterfall. Now you can barely see them back there in the distance. That's okay. Okay, so I'm getting some more mountains in the background, deep in the distance. So that's kind of how that would look. And then this would maybe like shoot way up. And then some waterfall action. Okay. That gives me the idea. Tell the people that there's rocks over here too. Alright, so I'm just thinking about a strong silhouette line of what area this thing takes up. Okay, it's kind of like 3 tiers. 4 counting this one. Make sure that looks like rock. Cool. Alright, so now in this one though, it's going to get kind of jungly, so I'm going to have to do some trees. Trees, you know, palm trees and stuff. Vegetation. We don't need 1,000 of them, just enough to say, hey, this is getting jungle. Okay. Now I'm going to do something to add some foreground element trees. So this would be like a leaf system that's just kind of blanking into there. And I'm going to copy a couple other little things just to make sure they come through. These will be like super foreground elements. And we can even duplicate them and maybe put them like that. Merge them together. Maybe lift them up a little. Merge them together. Take those two, select them both, merge them together. I just did the selection rectangle. I'm going to hit select and inverse, hit delete, and then I'm going to have my foreground elements there. That's going to look good. So the idea is maybe I'm pushing the viewers to view this part of the people. Let's see, horizontal. Yeah, so maybe like I could do even like this to where you're really kind of getting the emphasis only to them, or at least attempting to. Excuse me. Select, inverse, delete. That looks pretty cool. Good. So that's that board. Now we're going to do a board that's a tighter shot of that. So we're going to take this same shot, which is done. Oh, you know what? It's nighttime too. So we could, it does say it's nighttime, right? It doesn't really say. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to duplicate this. Duplicate. I'm going to show you guys. We're going to update this look of this and use it. So I know I don't need any of these foreground elements. We're going to bring the camera way in. I'm going to take like just this section here. Maybe even tighter. Like this section here. Maybe like this section here. So imagine that is what I'm going to take. inverse. So imagine this is the close-up shot. Right, it's going to be about that big. So that kind of gives you the idea of how big my character is going to be in the next shot. Maybe even bigger. Like this. Alright, so let's delete this layer now that I know about how big they're going to be. So we got a girl. No, we got a guy. There's his face. Here's his neck. There's his torso. And there's a girl making out with him. Again, she's on him like the other girl was. That's her arm, wrist, hand. Shoulder. This is her scapulas. Boobs. And hips. Butt. Malfunction. Basically, he's got her in the old shower pose. He has shoulders, his arms. He has thumb. And this is kind of his pose. She's got a knee. So he's kind of like, his thigh would be about right here, maybe. Knee pad. Knee pad. Zipper of his jacket. She has like these pouches. And she has hair. Goes something like this. She has like this tech that she always wears. That's her back. So the man, he wears sunglasses. He has a chin, cheekbones, ears, popped collar. Now, which one is right? Who has, one of them has long hair, one of them does not. Okay, so there's the top of the head. Alright, so that looks pretty good. She actually carries a big old gun. And they're getting hit by a waterfall. This is his jacket. Jacket's got a little design to it. Alright. Thought I had a piece of gum in my pocket. Yes, I do. Rocks. These are rocks. So they're totally in this thing. We got lines of water even going in front of them. That looks good. More watery marks. Maybe some rock. Water bouncing off. That looks good. All waterfall. And then this can be rock. So this is all rock. Just doing some weird lines like this. Cool. That looks awesome. So that's them. A couple things he does have, like a pant holster thing. So that's their shot of getting it on in the waterfall. Shot 3.2. Alright, so 3.2 is done. Gotta rename it though. Alright. So let's do one more and see how we do. So 3.2. Let's get your document cam on so you can see this. So 3.2 is done. We're going to 3.3. The team is ambushed in the middle of the night by unknown enemies. The team go off, so the Guatemalan explosive guy takes one for the team and dies in action. 3. Drone attacks. Okay, so there's got to be drone attacks. There's got to be these like ninja-looking dudes coming after them, and our Guatemalan teammate, he jumps on a grenade. So it sounds like 3 boards to me. Duplicate group. This is going to be 3.3. We'll get rid of the drawing. We're going to change this to 3.3. And we're going to steal off the script that the team is ambushed. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. The team is ambushed in the middle of the night by unknown enemies. The team has to use proximity mines to kill some of their enemies, but one misfires or won't go off. So the Guatemalan explosive guy takes one for the team and dies in action. Okay, so there's a lot there, especially with the notes that drones are going to be coming in. Let me pull up Pinterest. I want to show you what the guys are going to look like. Pinterest. Let's pull this in here for a second. So if we go to Pinterest, we're going to do tactical. Tactical clothing. So I want guys wearing stuff like this. They're gonna look like this. Tactical clothing, cyber. Stuff like this, stuff like that. They're going to be looking like this. Technology is apparel. Tech wear. That's a better thing to put in. Tech wear. Yes, this is what I was looking for. So they'll look like this guy, basically. Hoodies, hats, masks, and shit tied around them, strapped to them, things like this. Guys like that. So let's go back to the script. The team is ambushed in the middle of the night by unknown enemies. So I'm just going to do a bunch of unknown enemies right now. So So what I'm going to do is draw out a bunch of them and then add some vegetation. So I'll draw out a couple dudes. I gotta think about his pose here. He's holding a gun and it's firing. So these tech wear dudes have like super baggy pants. But then very tight socks and shin area that's like tight. Okay, so there's one of the dudes. Maybe they have like stuff hanging, straps and stuff. So that's basically how he looks. Cool, so that's that guy. He can have a couple more. I'll shrink him down, do a couple more versions of him. Oops. He was actually supposed to be on his own layer. Copy paste. Here's a version of him further back. Maybe mirrored. Got another guy. Merge those two guys. Let me take this area, move it up a little. Change this whole pose on this dude. Pow, pow, pow. Maybe he's like holding the gun higher. Same with him. So those dudes are shooting away. There's maybe some dudes. Let's look at it. Let's look at a couple more poses. Pinterest. You got this kind of dude. So maybe some dudes jump in. Maybe some dudes with swords would be cool. That dude's awesome. So this is a dude's hood over his mouth area. You can't see any of their eyes ever. He's got like pockets in the front of his chest. He's kind of got like almost like a cape on. Let's take a look at this badass dude again. He's got basically a jacket, long pants, and some samurai swords. That's kind of what this dude needs to have. So we'll break this into two. Keep that going down into a jacket. This will go into, let's take a look at his shorts. Okay, those will go very long off the page. So I'm seriously thinking about this dude's pose right now and how bad it sucks. That's all I'm thinking about. Copied that little piece, put it on its own layer. I'm gonna really need to mess with this dude's pose a little bit. Get rid of all this. This dude needs to look like ready. I'm ready and I got swords in my hand, bro. That's all he's saying. I'm ready and I got swords in my hand. This is the idea of how the legs would go. I know I'm not supposed to be drawing him that far down, but it just kind of gives me an idea. And let's push this way more crazier, like he's running and this leg's pushing. Really pushing. Pushing these. This would be a thigh, not a thigh, a calf. And this would be where his foot finally touches the ground. This dude has like pants that end here. A foot that technically ends somewhere in here. So he's launching forward. We can get rid of this old foot. Since this dude's going to be more impactful in the way that he runs, we will twist this like he'd be coming like that, and go ahead and twist his head. So that's a pose that more matches the action. There's like shit flying off of him. They like to carry these ropes and stuff. There's this jacket center. It's kind of built like a hood, or a vest, I mean. This part's a little tighter. This part wraps around what's going to be a blade. Alright, so you got some bladage in the hand now. Handle. And there's that. So that dude could be running. And basically these guys wear all black. So I'm going to get a big thing of black in here. So this is black. Okay. I think that describes a lot of it. Now we'll probably take this dude and do a couple versions of him. Smaller maybe. Flip horizontal. So that'll be like he's kind of running over there. Alright, and maybe dudes are like throwing stuff. Which is going. This dude's flying. boats are whizzing by. Things are cruising. Maybe like throwing stars are getting thrown. Guess I gotta learn how to draw one of those. Had a little lag there. Maybe throwing stars coming in this way. See that? I don't know what I'm doing here other than just overworking the shit out of this, but alright, so that's coming at you. You got all kinds of men firing at you. Maybe I could do, maybe I can take, that should be about good, but I could add some plants in here now just to kind of remind everyone that we're in the jungle. Hate that. So they're in the jungle. There's like a couple trees popping up too. Okay. Every time I say that, I see more to do. Gotta keep it simple, though, is what I gotta try to remember. Okay, great. Let's take this, emphasize this out a little more. This layer. So there should be a lot of action coming from like this point over here. Everything coming out. And we'll do his blades. Just black. Accidentally went into the words there, but I'll just erase it out. Okay, so like when I do the actual drawing of these, maybe these things will be glowing. They're kind of cyberpunk, and maybe his blade will be glowing. Make that all cyberpunk. And actually this blade should be, this should be pretty dark too. Not this blade, this star. Yeah, that looks better. So that's coming at you. Alright, so that's 3. Let's make this 3-3A, because I know I'm going to do several panels of this. 3-3A. This is going to be called 3-3A. This folder here. See, we got 3-3A. Now I'm going to make 3-3B out of it. I just duplicated it, changed the name, made it visible again. And I'm going to get rid of a lot of these characters. Change the wording to 3-3B. The team's ambushed. Reading this, it says the team is ambushed in the middle of the night by unknown enemies. So that's the one we just did. The team has to use proximity mines to kill some of their enemies. So let's try to do that. We'll draw a proximity mine. So let's do a proximity mine. So let's say they drop what we'll do is we'll have are we gonna have them just not, are we gonna have the good guys not in the scene, or are we gonna have them just laying down the proximity mine? Why would they be laying them down though if enemies are running at them attacking? They're gonna have to have chucked these things. Okay, so maybe they're not running, maybe they're just fighting against. So we'll have a shot of a proximity mine. Let's just try to work out a cool proximity mine. It's gotta look high tech. Let's probably make some noise like when somebody gets close. Ding ding ding. Explodes. Yep. So it's like maybe a canister of some sort. Maybe it comes like this. And let's tilt it out and draw some legs on it. So like these maybe stick in the ground. So this could be the proximity mine. Something similar to that. We'll work that out deeper when we get into concept art for this. How big do I want it? Maybe it's a big shot of it. So this would be like a super close up of it. So there's a shot of our proximity mine. Okay, I'll add a tiny bit of detail to the proximity mine. Okay, there's some detail. So that's the proximity mine. Now we're going to do another one of them running and the proximity mine exploding. Duplicate group. We'll call this 3.3 A, B, C. C. This shot will be a little different. So it's going to have a big explosion. So what I'll do is pretty much take this, make it black. We're going to do a huge explosion. Okay. So this is our explosion happening. Okay. So that's an explosion there. Then we can have one of our guys, or multiples of our guys, flying, crashing, hurting. We'll just take one of them and burst. So we could have a guy like this. And what I'll do is probably actually draw him. Redraw him. So let's skip this layer. Let's get this layer real light, like 40%. We'll draw some people that are being destructed. So one guy is going to be like this. These are his thighs. These are his calves. And he's being blown to smithereens. Okay, so there's his pants, there's his torso. Here's his head. His arm would actually go up this way. So he would be blowing up like this way, and there'd be kind of stuff coming off of them. Okay, we'll paint this all black. And there's some parts of him that are completely white because of the fire. There you go. Doesn't look like much, but it is. So you got that fire exploding. You're gonna have a couple dudes getting launched. See how that works? I don't have to draw everyone, but I just want to give the idea that complete freaking carnage is happening. I think that looks good right there. Alright. Now I'm going to do some accents of them flying out into oblivion. This helps. It just helps like get the speed of the explosion. The inertia, the impact. Those lines are all the wrong way. Should be going about like that. Okay. So then we could have like more of this black carnage coming in. Kapow. Those dudes got blowed up. Okay. So, next one's tough because it's going to be a Guatemalan guy jumping on the explosives. So here we go. Let's go ahead and properly title this. It's not 3B, it's 3C. Okay, so 3C is in the books. Let's double it or duplicate it. Rename it 3C, 3D. Now I'm going to make it visible again. I'm going to edit the name ABCD to 3.3D. Alright, that's cool. So, now I got to make this one, the Guatemalan gentleman jumps on it and takes one for the team. So, this is how we'll do this. we'll put a proximity mine. We'll take a proximity mine. Well, do I even need to do that? Let's just shrink it down. The proximity mine. What's going to happen with this thing? How's this going to work? So maybe we continue the grass on this way. There we go. It's a quick way to get that in, right? Trying to do it quick. Can't spend all day here. So this is a shot of our guy jumping, one of our guys jumping onto this proximity mine. So let's get him flying through the air. He's just about to land on it. His eyebrows are crazy because he's like, I'm jumping on a proximity mine. It's intense, right? Nobody's here. I'm looking at the camera right now. This is awesome. I can see approximately how this is going to go. Oh, my wife's home. Hey, babe. All right, I'm going to say hi to my wife. We'll pick back up on this. Okay, it's a new day for me, so wardrobe change. But picking up here, we got this dude jumping onto the grenade. So I'm going to kind of... We didn't actually lock down a character design of what this dude looks like. So I'm going to have to keep him pretty general. So there's this ear. Yeah, we didn't do a character design sheet on this. And I never did do a character turnaround of this guy. So I don't know exactly what he looks like, so I'm going to keep him real general. These are his shoulders. We'll say this is kind of like his collarbone area. I think I did have like this hood looking thing on him. So he's got a hand that's going to be coming out. This will be his palm. That'll be his mid part of his hand. This will be a thumb. Thumb that comes out. So this will be the first finger. This will be the fourth. And we will put these fingers like so. Now that hand doesn't look the greatest, but for a storyboard I think it'll work. This is a sleeve. A hand, index finger, middle finger, and so on. So we'll try to make this guy look like he's jumping onto this. Okay, now the other shots were coming, the bad guys were coming from this direction. So if we want to make him look like a good guy, we'll probably have him come from another direction. We'll just reverse this. And so as you can see, when you sometimes when you reverse things, everything will look off. So that's good to like reverse it and come back, reverse it several times as you're drawing, just to make sure like it looks right. So he's gonna be getting an arrow that indicates that he has jumped. So he jumps on to that item. Alright, so now we're going to do another overhead shot of maybe him getting blown up, or at least starting to get blown up. So what we'll do is we will duplicate this layer. We'll rename it 3.3 ABCDE. We'll open this layer up, delete all the drawings, go to the text, make it 3.3E. Now we're ready to draw. So for this one, I was thinking like an overhead kind of drone shot. So let's just draw, we can rotate him if we need to. Say this is his body, shoulders, hands, arm, waist, arm, just real basic hands. Legs. Keep it real basic. Okay, so that's that dude, and we'll just kind of fill him in. We just completely black him out. Okay, so he's blacked out. Now, the cool part is we're gonna do a bunch of explosion work. So let's do another layer. Make it all black. Kill that layer down. let's take some explosion stuff. So I'd say he's so it's exploding out this way. Get our sound effects. And we'll delete that. So this is so we'll have some debris stuff flying everywhere. I'm gonna hit shift and just get a bunch of these circles going. Oh, I lost my tool. Why do I have an arrow? Okay, then I can take my eraser and put in some marks. Speed marks indicating things are flying out. Okay, then we're going to go back to black and kind of enhance that stuff. So this will make it look more explodey. So this dude jumped on the proximity mine and now he's sacrificed himself for his buddies. Taking the hit. The old jump on the grenade technique. Basically, I'm just going to do a bunch of these concussion marks. The idea is I just want to have like a big silhouette of the guy and then a bunch of contrasting explosion. Okay. So stuff's flying. Dirty things are happening, and I'll tighten this up by taking the selection inverse, hit delete, and now I got a clean board there, so that'll be good for that one. Okay, so what else can we do? Let's look and see. That might be all I want to show for this one. Okay, so that looks good to me. So let's run through the boards that we made. So in this series we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boards, And did we do this one and this one? I guess we did that one too. We did this one too. 10 boards, 11 boards. Okay, so we did 11 boards, but we started with this one. This is the capsule of them running through an underwater tunnel. This is a more close-up side view shot where he's definitely underwater inside this capsule with wildlife swimming behind him. This one is him exiting the pod capsule in a aquarium type environment. This is the making love on the beach. This is the wide shot of another two other characters getting it on in a waterfall. This is a close-up of them getting it on in the waterfall. This is an action shot of some foot soldier type dudes attacking. Proximity mine close-up. Proximity mine blow-up effect. One of the good guys jumping on the proximity mine, and our good guy getting blown up by this proximity mine. So there we go. There's about a dozen panels or so. Let's get this face bigger here. So that's about a dozen panels or so. If you got any questions about any of this stuff, give me a holler. You can call me. You can email me. Whatever you want. I just hope you enjoyed this little demo on how to do storyboards using Photoshop. If you're interested in the Artist Glove, go to artistglove.com. You can get one of these. And just so you know, we're using Photoshop and a Huion tablet and a script. So hope you guys enjoyed that. If you got any questions, hit me up. All right, thanks for watching.